should be good now. All right. As I was saying, I feel like I've watched this movie over and over again, the Golden State Warriors, and I feel tricked a little bit. And I'm sure if I feel the same way, if I feel this way, I'm sure a lot of people listening to the program can relate to what I'm talking about. So we're going to get into the Warriors. I don't think anybody saw 65 after 11 games, especially heading into what's going to be a pretty tough road trip. They got 6 games coming up, starting on Tuesday night with the OKC Thunder, which they usually play OKC pretty well, but they're much younger. They're champions, and it could get ugly. So we're going to see what happens on Tuesday night. But just the overall chemistry of this team, off the court, it might be great, but on the court, the chemistry is not great. So that's a problem. We can get into that. I also, as somebody who was not like a star player, I was more of a role player, a lowbrow Al Horford type of guy. It bothers me when I see average pros not playing hard. When some of the veterans have bad games, that doesn't surprise me. I expect that to happen. You know, they're older players. They don't have as much tread on the tires. But tonight, the Warriors reserve players came out and put forth maximum effort. And even though they didn't play great basketball, they didn't shoot well, they still blew out Indiana, who was missing a ton of players, but it was really about the energy and the hustle. And I can only imagine Steve Kerr ripping some of those guys a new one, because you can pick any game you want to. Pick the Sacramento game. Pick the game against Indiana, some of the other teams they've lost to. The reserves play hard in spurts. They don't play hard all the time. They don't play like they're on 10-day contracts, because they're not on 10-day contracts. That's how you got to play. And to watch that, it bothers me. Now, got some comments about JK. I'm going to say this. I don't have a problem with Jonathan Kuminga being traded. What I will tell you is good luck getting a player of his talent. Now, what you might be able to do, if a team wants to give up a lottery pick, this is the year to get one, because this year's NBA draft is going to be one of the best drafts that we've seen in a long time. But I don't like the power dynamic on this team. I don't like it. You know, I look at some other teams and it's not happening that way. And if it is happening, you're not positioning yourself to win a championship. That's not how championship teams win. I don't believe they do. This started on the road when Jonathan Kuminga played 24 minutes against Indiana. You know, for no particular reason, maybe he wasn't doing everything, but he was singled out. He got 24 minutes. I think it was against Indiana. It was the Warriors might have won a game that he only played 24 minutes. I think it was Indiana. Correct me if I am wrong. But he has not been the same since then. He really hasn't. So we're going to get into that. The 49ers are now 6-4. They lost to a better team today, the Rams, 42-26. And the Rams look like a team that can win a Super Bowl. The 49ers look like a good team that if everything goes right, they can beat anybody. But if you go talent for talent, you was like, wow, the Rams are better than the 49ers. And they proved that today. Now, with that said, the best team doesn't always win. You know, if Juwan Jennings doesn't fumble and the 49ers score, then maybe they win. Maybe the score is 21-14 at halftime. But when they started to make mistakes, they couldn't get first downs on fourth down, we knew that they were not going to win. Because for the Rams, football is easy. It's easy for the Rams. Why is it easy? Because they have one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. They have a future Hall of Famer. Mac Jones played pretty good football. 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. He played pretty well, but he needed everybody join him. And although after getting smacked around early on, I thought the 49ers played relatively hard. And Robert Saleh, who I think is great, he rallied his guys to play about as well as they could. But they don't have a pass rusher. The only way that you can disrupt what a really good team wants to do is put pressure on the quarterback. We all know this. The 49ers put 0 pressure on the quarterback. Outside of Berthum, excuse me, and D. Winters, they don't have a linebacker who can cover. 5'7", this is Gibson. Gibson can't cover. Special teams player out there hustling, but he can't cover. And the Rams just went with that, 3-4 tight end set and just carved the 49ers up. So it wasn't awful, but it was a little but it was a little deflating, I would say. Because you want to see the 49ers do well, particularly at home. Tip your hat to the Rams. They had payback on their minds, and they came to today, and they carved the 49ers up. If Brock Purdy is healthy, if he's healthy, I think this is the time to bring him back. If he's your long starter, which he is, then bring him back now. They play Arizona next week. If you can't beat Arizona, there's nothing to say. Despite Brissett playing relatively well leading up to this week, the 49ers are a better team, in my opinion, than the Arizona Cardinals. You should beat them on the road. Not that the game won't be competitive. I think it will be competitive. But you got to beat that team. So if Brock Purdy is healthy, let's kind of kill the whispers and bring him back. Good time to do that. Go out and talk to Vicky. She says, "Hi, Frank. How are you? I'm glad the Warriors won tonight. I don't know about OKC, but we will see. Not much to say about the 49ers game except the Rams scored again. Thanks, Frank, for having the show. Thank you." Vicky says what's on a lot of folks' minds. JK has to go. What happens to the Bills today? Well, you know what happened to the Bills today? They didn't show up. And they got smacked. And you're probably going to have one of those games, one of those stinkers. They're 6-3 now. New England is in first place. And they're balling. I don't know how good New England is against upper echelon teams when it really counts. But I knew Mike Vrabel would turn things around. I didn't know he would do it this fast. Watching Drake May, I knew he was going to be a good quarterback, but he's been more consistent than I probably thought that he would be. I thought they'd be around 500, which is pretty impressive. You consider how few games they won last year. You think that they could go 8-9 or 9-8. That would have been pretty darn good. But at 8-2, I think New England has probably exceeded everybody's expectations except their own. So give them props for that. Big week in college football as well. If you want to talk about that, we can. There's about 5 teams that I think to win a national championship this year. That's about it. I'm not going to sleep on Indiana anymore. I mean, when you look at what kid Mendoza did, I mean, give the receiver most of the credit. He got his feet down. But kid Mendoza, who used to be a quarterback for Cal, Francisco Mendoza, I mean, to me, the Heisman Trophy is his. Indiana is playing as well as anybody. I think Alabama is better. Georgia. Who else I think has a shot? Texas A&M, obviously. Notre Dame. I like Notre Dame. I don't know if they have what it takes to win a national championship, but I like their team. It's about, as I said, there's about 4 or 5 teams that can win. A lot of them are from the SEC. Ohio State can definitely win. But you look at what Sharon Moore has done, the head coach in Michigan. That's not a gimme for Ohio State. I think everybody knows that. After having a tough start to the season, Michigan is playing some good football. They're 7-2 now. They look totally different from the team that got bulldozed by Texas at the start of the year. Jerome Moore is showing that he can be a head coach and he can lead these young men. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed with how Michigan has played, and to think that Ohio State's going to beat them this year. I don't know about that. That's going to be a really tight game. Both teams are very distinctive in terms of how they want to play. And Michigan is in their head a little bit at this point. So that's going to be interesting. And I love how Alabama plays. I really do. I like their quarterback. Good prospect. And, you know, I come on and talk about Cal sometimes and how frustrating they are to watch. But I got to give them credit. I mean, to go clear across country and beat a good Louisville team, that was impressive. That really was impressive. So big them up. And I think that they needed that because as soon as the season's over, Agapulatelli phone's going to be off the hook. I mean, if it's not already. I want him to stay at Cal. I think it's a 50-50 proposition that he'll be Cal's quarterback next year. 50-50. I can't give it any higher percentage than that. One bright spot is Cal's offensive coordinator. Been a head coach before. He has a good relationship with Agapulatelli. He's a quarterback coach and he's the offensive coordinator. So that might be enough to keep him here. But would not surprise me if he goes somewhere else, especially some of these universities can pay more money. So. Wow, Vicky says, if Michigan can beat Ohio State, we will see. This year, the game is being played in Michigan. That's going to be off the chain. That's going to be 100,000+ people. Ohio State is poised, you know, to put forth a good effort, but Michigan does not stray from their identity. That's one of the things I love about Michigan. Because I was a kid, even when they stumbled here and there, they still played the same way. I love that about them. And the fact that Sharon Moore took over that program means a lot to me because, I mean, that's the biggest of the big. I mean, that's one of the top jobs in the country. And to see a person of color who didn't have a whole lot of head coaching experience step in there and prove that he can lead these young men, that's a big deal. Young West says, Cal beat number 15 Louisville in overtime. What a game. Going for it on 4th down in overtime, down by 3. I was ballsy. Yeah, it was. It was. And it shows you that they got big-time players. And it's a big-time program, but they've really struggled with consistency this year. Justin Wilcox has been the head coach at Cal for 9 years. 9 years. It's amazing to me. Decent coach, has not been great in any facet of the game. And I think that he realizes that the clock is ticking. And they're 6-4 now. There's no reason why they shouldn't go to a bowl game, maybe win a couple of games. If they go 8-4, 8-5, he's probably going to come back. Although I got to think that Carson, the offensive coordinator, he's well thought of. That's why he was brought in, a former head coach of Boise State. He's doing a good job. Key says, "What's up, Frank?" With Shanny saying Purdy will never be 100%. Wow, all year, and the way Mac is playing, let Purdy sit. No need to ruin his career like RG3. I don't have a problem with that when they come out and say it. Because at this point, no NFL quarterback is 100%. We know this. No NFL quarterback is 100%. There's whispers out there. The fact that I'm thinking about it says that there are probably other people also thinking about it also. Is Purdy your number one? Is he coming back? I mean, if he's not coming back, then put him on IR, like Arizona did with Kyler Murray. They didn't want to deal with the drama, and I don't blame them. Although Kobe Brissett is what he is. He's a solid veteran, top-notch backup quarterback. That's about money. That's what that's about. That's about money. They're going to trade Kyler Murray to another team, another org, because teams need quarterbacks. It wouldn't surprise me if Kyler Murray's not on the Jets. Maybe he's on the Raiders next year. There's a carousel among quarterbacks. What happened to Jackson Dart today? Literally, you could have bet your house on that. But Daboll, the coach of the Giants, was running this kid. You knew he was going to get whacked. Now, it was kind of an unfortunate slam to the turf. It wasn't like somebody got like a clean shot on him. But everybody watching and listening to this program right now knew that Jackson Dart was going to get hurt. We knew it. And that's what happened. So, I assume he's going to be okay. He's in concussion protocol. But I'm not surprised that he got hurt. Not at all. And if the 49ers really want to quiet things down, and if they think that Brock Purdy is not going to be 100%, but to the extent that he can play and reclaim his starting position, then put him on IR. You guys agree with that or disagree with that? Ryan Harsin is the offensive coordinator at Cal, the former head coach at was he the head coach at Auburn too? I think he was. I wanted to get this in last week, but I didn't. I didn't have time. I want to talk about it this week. Belichick's UNC Tar Heels are now 4-5, and I'm going to say this: his girlfriend is making less appearances on television. I don't know if it's a coincidence, whatever the case, but they're getting down to football. This is not a really, really talented team, but they're playing better football. And all those folks out there that thought, well, what is Belichick's buyout and the game is passing by? No, he's rolling his sleeves up, he and his coaches, and teaching what is collectively mostly average players how to play football, and they're playing better football. I'm enjoying it. I really am. I mean, I didn't agree with Belichick going for the win against Virginia a couple of weeks ago and coming up short. I would not have done that. I would have kicked the extra point and went into overtime and see if we could win. So they could very easily be 5-4. They could have won. I mean, they could have won 6 games. This team is actually playing pretty good football. And I just want to acknowledge that because there's so many people out there. Once that proverbial ball starts rolling down the hill, it's almost unstoppable. And that was a narrative around Belichick that he can't coach anymore. And he's like, no, I can't coach. I'm still the curmudgeon exteriorly that I was in New England, but I can coach football. And I don't know if you've noticed, but this team has not quit on him, and they're playing. I'm going to say this. His quarterback is pretty average. And I give the kid credit. I mean, they're paying him a lot of money, maybe as much as $1 million, maybe even more than that. He will not be the quarterback next year. That's for sure. They're not going to make that mistake again. They clearly made a mistake in evaluation, and that got them behind the 8 ball, so to speak, early in the season. They coach the guy up, and he's kind of playing to his strength and maybe to the best of his ability. It just goes to show you, when you pick the right quarterback at any level, you're either going to be up or you're going to be down. Wow, Vic, it's good news. I don't think the 49ers are going to the playoffs. Why do you say that? They're 6-4. If you make that statement next week and say that, hey, they lost to Arizona, they're 6-5, they're not going to the playoffs. Next week's game is pivotal. If they win next week, I think they're going to the playoffs. I could be wrong, but I think they are. How much of a difference will Milton make for the Warriors when he comes back? He'll make a difference because he's a better offensive player. I mean, he's just a better offensive player. He has a mid-range. He can shoot the three. He's a better defender. I mean, like, it's interesting because I had somebody who I'm kind of friendly with online, bash me. He didn't bash me. No, he didn't. He just disagreed with me. But after the Warriors game against Sacramento, I put a tweet out and I said, you know what? This is hurting my eyes. This is terrible basketball. And then the fans came out. And it wasn't nasty, but they were like, man, I totally disagree with you. And they were highlighting the stats of individual Warrior players. I'm like, I don't care about stats. Are you watching this crap? This is terrible. Terrible. Have you seen Sacramento's record? Give Sac credit for beating the Warriors. But they're losing a lot of games. Why? Because teams are better. The Warriors were better. Let me get back to your point. The Warriors will be better when Milton comes back because he's a better defender. He's a better two-way player than Pod. Pods, God bless him. I mean, Pods is I root for guys like Pods. Because he's kind of a guy who has to overcome a lot of odds to have a career. He probably doesn't see himself like that. That's what's ironic. He sees himself like he's a star. And I draw that conclusion because he says, I want to be better than Stephen Curry. Really? I mean, okay. I love the confidence, but you're not going to be better than Stephen Curry. How about being a solid journeyman player who gets paid 2 or 3 times and makes $50 to $100 million? That sounds pretty darn good to me. And my evidence for my point is this. You saw the Warriors game against Sacramento. The Warriors tonight against Indiana played Stone 75 to 80% of the time against a team that had 5 or 6 players on the bench. Why do you play zone? 2 reasons. You can't play man-to-man, and your team can't shoot from the outside. And it was both. So, the Warriors struggle on the perimeter to play man-to-man defense. They really do. They struggle badly. So, Vicky, to answer your question, Anthony Milton will help the Warriors execute better on the defensive end. He's actually going to be a joystick for Steve Kerr because He's a real guard. He's a real guard. He's confident offensively, and he's not going to have as many blow-bys as we see now with some of the Warrior guards. So, yeah, so I went to the 49ers. Good for you. Again, my Frank Gray says, great win by the Cal Bears. Got to move to go for it. Okay. What's up, brother? Thank you. He says Sacramento is a gutsy team. They don't go away except for tonight. Yeah, I mean, they're pros. They're all pros. There's a reason why Sacramento said, you know what? We're going to pay Dennis Schroeder. Because Dennis Schroeder is an irritant. He doesn't stargaze. He doesn't care who's wearing the other uniform. He's going to play to the best of his ability. Now, there's a ceiling there. If you think he's going to come in and walk over Dennis Schroeder, he's not going to do that. Russell Westbrook, we don't know what's going to happen, but we know something's going to happen. Russell Westbrook has never cheated the game of basketball. Never. He'll tell you that in a second. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't care who you are. You match up against Russell Westbrook, even at this stage of his career, year 18, he's going to battle you. DeMar DeRozan, future Hall of Famer, who has damn near the same number of points as Stephen Curry has, still doing it at around, 36 years old? That was a bad loss. That was a bad loss. And if you are a fan, I would assume you would be frustrated about that game against Sacramento. Tonight was better because the energy level was up. Did Jonathan Kuminga get hurt tonight? I kept looking for it. I don't think he did. Now, did he have a good game? No, he didn't. And I'm going to say this. Jonathan Kuminga, I'm not even like from a person perspective. I don't know him as a person. But as a basketball player, he has to mature. He has to mature. Otherwise, he's just going to be another guy in the league who makes exciting plays, going to make some money. That's going to be it, but he's not going to win. You can't let a coach destroy you. Not at this, I mean, year 5, you cannot let a coach destroy you. And it's clear to me that Steve Kerr can easily get inside Jonathan Kuminga's head. I don't like it. I don't like how it looks. I don't like it from Kuminga's perspective. I don't like the iron fist control kind of philosophy that Kerr has with some players. I don't like it. Because you can't win a championship like that. We all know that the Warriors are not as good if Jonathan Kuminga is not on the floor playing well. And if he's not on the floor, if he's not in the rotation, then the Warriors' ceiling is considerably lower. Al Horford's not going to be able to do what he did tonight on a consistent basis. He's not. Every 3 games, Al's going to have one of the games he had tonight. He was awesome. His defense is going to be there most of the time. Offensively, probably once every 3 games. He's going to go 4 for 6 from 3. He was awesome tonight. But his lower extremities, I'm sure, don't pop and explode through his shot all the time. That's why his shot is flat sometimes. He's 39. You need a Kuminga type. Now, I'm going to say this to you. If and when they trade Kuminga, if they can get a lottery pick, this is the year that you want to have one. There are probably 7 players in this year's lottery that could potentially go number one in any given year, not this year. There are some really, really talented players. Did you guys see the young man from Greece who's on Virginia Tech? I watched highlights. This kid is legit. 6'9" point guard, float game, shoot the three, walk eight. You know, this is the year. With that said, you know, when everybody was cracking on New Orleans for giving up their first round pick, I like the kid, Queen. I like him. You know, I understand why they wanted this kid. The kid out of Maryland. He's lost about 20 pounds. He's going to be a legit scorer for New Orleans. And he could give them the confidence, you know, to trade Zion, although someone's going to try to get Zion on the cheap. You know, because he has health issues. I wouldn't hold up the brake truck for Zion if he can't be healthy, but he's still a talent. He's still a talent. How much longer is it going to be before Steph Curry is re-signed? I think in November. So this month, I think he should be signed. Although, you know, it's kind of interesting because I don't know all the machinations of this, but is Will Richards on a two-way? Because if he's on a two-way, the Warriors are probably seriously pondering. I don't know if they will, but he's playing like a guy who should have a standard NBA contract, right? So that might, you know, put kind of a, you know, disappointment in the Warriors' plan, because I know they're going to re-sign Curry. I mean, they're going to do that. But I think Will Richards' play has made things difficult for the Warriors in a good way, because he's playing really, really well. Steve Kerr gives all his players a lot of confidence to shoot the ball, and I dig that. I don't think Will Richards is a volume shooter. No, he can make shots. I watched him in Florida, but I don't think that he is a volume three-point shooter. I love his defense. He's a tough kid. He belongs. But I would love to see him drive more. Like I watched Jimmy Butler tonight. How many jump shots did Jimmy Butler take tonight? I'm going to say 0. I didn't see any jump shot from Jimmy Butler tonight. I saw him catching the ball, getting a triple threat position, looking at the basket, dribbling to an open spot, and just using his physicality to either get fouled or score a bucket. He played a patented Jimmy Butler game tonight. And I love that. And I think that's what drives Kerr crazy about Kuminga. I mean, to see Jonathan Kuminga poise jump shots up from three-point range, it infuriates Kerr. And as a fan of basketball, it bothers me. Because I haven't seen anybody who can stop Jonathan Kuminga once he makes his mind up to go to the basket. He takes his time. I haven't seen that. And that's just historically the really good NBA players have always played to their strength. Jonathan Kuminga does not always play to his strength. And that's frustrating. So my thing is, be frustrated. But can we make something happen? Now, with that said, he can't be traded until when? After maybe January or something? I don't know. In the meantime, you don't want to lose the guy. And, I mean, the commentators are not going to say anything. I kept waiting for one of the commentators to say Jonathan Kuminga got nicked up or he's being benched. I mean, you're just never going to hear that from the Warriors broadcast. You're never going to hear it. So, I don't know what's going on. Vicky says the Nets will have a pick. Yeah, you know what? It's interesting because if you're the Nets, why wouldn't you want to draft one of those really talented players in the lottery and have him on a rookie contract, as opposed to acquiring a guy like Kuminga, who's going to be more ready than any rookie? I believe that, but you really don't know how good he's going to be. It's almost, because he's going to come with some baggage. That gives you some trepidation about trading an asset like a lottery pick for Kuminga. You want to see Kuminga playing at his best, before you acquire him. So this is not helping the Warriors. It's not helping Kuminga. It's a bad look. Bad. Vicky says Will Richard is on a rookie deal. So what is so cool? He's not on a two-way. He's on. Is that a 3-year deal? First 2 years guaranteed, Vicky? I think that's how those rookie deals. Or does he have a 4-year deal? First 2 years guaranteed. I don't know. Love to hear your thoughts on the Warriors, though. One of the things I'm going to say about Steve Kerr, I've always said this, and this is one of the things that I really admire about him. He's not going to jeopardize any of his players' careers to get them back on the floor. He's just not going to do that. And, even before Stephen was 37, he was still very watchful of player safety and injuries. And I love that about him. I mean, he's not going to rush Curry back out there. He's not. Number one, I think that he generally cares about the health and safety of his player. But probably more importantly, organizationally, they know. I mean, Curry he's the appetizer and the entree. If this dude is hurt, the NBA's hurt, right? So you want him playing, you want him healthy, because he's actually bigger than the Warriors. There's only a few guys in this league that really matter beyond their organization. And Stephen Curry is one of those guys, even at 37. So I'm glad Stephen didn't play. The Warriors are not going to win if he doesn't play in OKC. If he's healthy enough, then it'd be great to see him play. But I'm glad he didn't play tonight. I also wanted to say this, because I got this wrong. I think I mentioned it last week, but I'm going to say it again. The Lakers don't need LeBron. They don't. They're in a pickle because they don't really know what to do with him. This idea that he's going to come back and they have to kind of relearn how to play basketball. They don't really want to deal with that. Now, with that said, the Lakers have been winning games because they've been playing the right way, but they've been shooting lights out. Give them credit for that. They're not always going to shoot well. And it'll be interesting to see what they look like when they have a bad shooting game like they did tonight. But I think that all of the planets are orbiting around Luka. The ball's in Luka's hand. LeBron is another guy who likes to have the ball in his hand. And that can't happen in LA. Now, I'm going to tell you where LeBron would be most successful. He probably would disagree with me. But a realistic home for LeBron is actually in Dallas. Can you imagine LeBron in Dallas? He actually could run the point for Dallas. Alleviate those responsibilities from Kyrie. You got Cooper Flag, where he could go and be Cooper Flag and fly around and play defense and kind of work himself into position. Keep your eye on Dallas, because I think that LeBron and the Mavericks are kind of a match made in heaven right now. I believe that. Um, Obviously Cleveland, but I think Dallas. I think Dallas would be an interesting place for LeBron. Probably not going to happen because the money and the establishment stuff like that. But I don't think the Lakers need it. Am I wrong? I don't think so. Ricky says Steve is stubborn, and sometimes that kills the team. He's very stubborn. He is. Most coaches are stubborn. And the only thing that makes coaches less stubborn is when they get fired. That's the only way. That's the only way. Steve Kerr has never been fired. Can you imagine? He's never been fired. Never. Never. Michael Malone's been fired. He's won a title. So, listen. Steve Kerr can be stubborn, but he's also a magnificent coach. But with this man, Jonathan Kuminga, we've gotten to a point now where, there's no more combinations of hands to play. We've seen all the combinations. You've had the cards for 5 years. You shuffled the deck. You had people tap the card and come up with a number that no one thought would be at the top of the deck. You've done all of that. The only likely scenario is to trade the guy. Now, the problem with that is, do you lose him? Do you lose him? Because you really need him. You really need him. He says, right now the Warriors need a third guy to score consistently. I agree with you. And theoretically, that guy is Jonathan Kuminga. But that's Jonathan Kuminga. Now here's where, ironically, Kerr's wishes kind of come into play. For those of you out there who are old enough to have seen Shawn Marion play, who Steve Kerr kind of compares Kuminga to, I don't think it's the best prototype, but Shawn Marion was a slasher. He had a funny little pop jump shot that he could make. He was open. But Shawn Marion was a slasher. He got to the basket. If he could score, if he could have 5 layups in a game and 5 jump shots or 10 layups, he'd probably get 10 layups. Let me try to move myself for a second. I don't know why I'm foggy here. I have no idea. Work with me. I also wanted to acknowledge Outkast and Salt and Pepper going into the Hall of Fame last night in the rock and roll ceremonies. I apologize for my screen. I have no idea why it's like this. If you start doing that, I have no idea. I apologize. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool to see Outkast be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and Salt and Pepper as well. If you know the story of Salt and Pepper, it's pretty interesting. I think that, okay, it's getting better now. If you know the story about Salt and Pepper, they actually allegedly came together as kind of a class project for Herbie Lovebug. That's how they were actually formed. Just doing like a little class tape back in the day. And that evolved into them starting to make records and ultimately being the super group that they became. And now they're in the Hall of Fame. And it was kind of cool to see Salt kind of take the lead and talk about some of the ills of the industry and how their music has been taken down from streaming services. And that clearly has affected the amount of money that they make, but they're in litigation with the major labels and kind of a problem. So hopefully that will be resolved. Outkast, me, could not have had a better career than the one that they had. I mean, it culminated in them being inducted into the Hall of Fame. But let me say this about Outkast. I was never the biggest Outkast fan. I was never like a person who listens to their music and say, "Oh no, I don't like them." Everything they've done, I liked. They put together some really, really good albums. But the thing that I respect about Outkast more than anything is Outkast knew when it was time to fall back. And so many artists can't do that. I'm a big LL Cool J fan. I think LL made too many albums, personally. And I think the more albums he made, the more that his legacy and his dominance on the industry was affected, and not in a good way. That's a balancing act to know when it's time to not stop performing, not stop making music, but I think you can put out too much material. And Outkast never did that. They had some guest appearances where Big Boy and Andre 3000 would get on other folks' records, and they killed. Or they had some passion projects that they worked on, but together they didn't tour too much, and they didn't make too many records. I think that really led to their greatness. I probably feel the same way about some other artists and other genres of music. But that's one of the things that has been most impressive to me about it. And it just kind of just show you, it's not about volume. It's about quality. After a 25-year career, you are eligible to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I think that, beyond their music and beyond their talent, that's probably one of the greatest decisions that Outkast made. They didn't make too many records. Some artists, I do think that they made too many records, and that started to impact their greatness. I don't know how you feel about that, but I feel that way. Vicky says, I wish Frank Red would make more music. It's interesting. I was talking to my producer and my friend 2 days ago, and I'm actually going to go in the studio start of December to finish up a song that I've been working on. I'm gonna tell you what's crazy though. This song is longer, and I'm very meticulous in terms of my writing. It'll take us some time, but hopefully you'll be happy with this song. I'm going to finish with it in about 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to record it. And I got some other stuff. I should put out more music. I actually got like 2 or 3 songs that I'm just kind of sitting on for no particular reason. And I appreciate you saying that. I'm going to put some more music out. Thank you. Appreciate that. TG says, hello, Frank. Let's go. Yes, sir. Where you want to go, man? Let me know where you want to go. It's amazing when I know my music is on my timeline because I listen to it. But it's pretty interesting to me when I don't know one of my songs is going to play and it plays. Pretty cool. I want to ask you guys a question. Are you guys up on what AI is doing to these rap songs? The new lick right now, and some R&B songs as well, is to like take the original version and put it through AI to have it transform into like a different genre. A lot of Kanye West's songs now are being AI, and those songs are never going to. I won't say never, but they're unlikely to see the light of day on commercial radio. But I don't think anybody can deny some of those songs are really good. They really are. AI is amazing. And my whole thing is, I don't have a problem with AI. What I have a problem with is the exploitation of music and artists. Are these artists being paid like they should be? Probably not. When Spotify gets spins for these different variations of songs, are they paying the original artist? I don't know. Probably not. So that's where the real problem lies in AI and technology. Even Chat GPT, and some of these other AI systems, they're very useful. When you take a thought or a piece of content that you created and you utilize these services, it can make your life a lot easier. What I don't like is when they essentially take people's material within, the AI algorithm, and they don't pay people. That's flat out wrong. Vicky's old school. She says AI needs to stay out of music. I'm not mad at you. But I'll say this, Vicky. I think artists need to be able to make decisions about their music. And if they want to, like Tracy Chapman, I tried to sample a Tracy Chapman song, and I met Tracy Chapman. Tracy Chapman does not allow people to sample her music. No way in hell. And if you do, you better believe she's going to take 100% of the publishing. She's going to take it all. I'm not mad at her. But she is like, yo, if someone's going to sample my music, it's going to be because I said they can do it. You're going to take my music and use it without permission, and it becomes a hit, I'm going to make all the money off of it. And don't let the nice, warm little voice, the positive disposition fool you. Tracy Chapman and many other artists are fierce about their music. What's up, Keith? Keith says, Penn State looked better with the new quarterback and coach. Not surprised. I was surprised by it. I was pleasantly surprised. That quarterback's a freshman, talented guy. God knows who is going to be the head coach of Penn State next year. I don't think it's going to be the guy who they have in place right now, which is unfortunate because this is his shot. And literally, up until the very last second, he was on the cusp of pulling up the upset of the year. But give Indiana credit. Francisco Mendoza, it feels like he's come out of nowhere, but he really hasn't, because he balled out last year at Cal. But he put himself on the national stage playing in the Big Ten for Indiana, and it's his Heisman Trophy to lose. It really is. But one of the things that I said about Penn State, and I think this is kind of what you are alluding to, when you lose your coach, you lost 3 or 4 games in a row, you might be a senior, you might already be in the transfer portal. What's your motivation? What is your motivation? You got to go to practice. Maybe some cats are late to practice, they don't show up. There's so many things that can get in the way of you honoring your commitment. Literally, what these young men are doing right now is they're setting themselves up for the next 20 years of their lives. You might say, well, how, Red? Because this is real adversity. This is real adversity. And that's what sports is all about. It's a microcosm of life. That's what it is. Life is never going to go exactly how you want it to go. Coaches get fired. times for good reasons, a lot of times for bad reasons. And as a young person, you still got to show up. And I applaud those young men, and I applaud that coach, because he's probably not going to be at Penn State next year. So for him to be able to inspire his team to show up against Indiana and in Indiana and put forth that type of effort, that was impressive. He says, what do you think of Draymond calling Dak a bum? Thought it was classic. Yeah, I didn't like it. I heard Draymond's apology also. And, yeah, I didn't like it. I think, and Dak, Dak's going to win, man. At the end of the day, Dak is going to win at life. Because Dak has class. He has class. I've heard Stephen A. say some things about Dak Prescott, and I know he's trying to get ratings, but I think it's inappropriate. You're going to attack another person's character like that? That's what I'm thinking. You're talking about a bum. That's different than saying that he's not a good quarterback. Bum has so many different ramifications. I didn't like it at all. I don't. And Draymond did apologize. And I respect that also. I wish he had not said that, because I think Draymond is a classy guy. Classy from the point, I think he's a good human being. I think the Draymond Green that you see on the basketball court is not Draymond Green the person. Now, I don't think that there should be a distinction between the two either. I don't, but I've seen it in sports. So, yeah, Draymond apologized on his podcast. Hopefully he'll have an opportunity to apologize in person at some point, because I think highly of both guys. He says Colorado had some fight this week. Didn't win, but they did fight. Yeah, I didn't see the game. I was at a show, but I looked at the score today, and I was happy to see that it was competitive. And that's really what it's all about. This year, based on what Deion Sanders has gone through, it's one of those throwaway years. It really is. We're going to see what's up next year with Colorado, presuming that he comes back. And I think that that'll be his choice, if he's healthy enough to do it. But your championship is the next game in front of you. They were competitive against West Virginia. What do you mean by this? It wasn't 1-9F Draymond. I don't understand that. Clarify for me, please. Joe Barragon, what's up? What's up, Frank? Hope you are having a great day. What you think about the Raiders' loss against the Broncos? Was it kind of obvious? Oh, man. It was frustrating because I'm such a fan of Oakland Raider fans. The team's not in Oakland anymore. But emotionally, I'm not as close to the team. I'm not that close to them at all. But I still like to see the silver and black do well. I kind of felt for Gino a little bit. In spite of Gino not playing well this year, he hasn't played well. I thought that, he was really trying to inspire his guys to step up. Gentry, running back, I'm disappointed, man. I'm disappointed with Austin Gentry, the running back out of Boise State. That was the top 5 pick. He looked like crap. He looked like crap as a football player. That bothered me, because the Raiders actually could have won that game. If you're a football fan, you love watching Brock Bowers play. That dude is, I mean, he look like Red Grange out there, man. Dick Buckus. I mean, this is a once in a generational player, Brock Bauer. You know. So yeah, it was predictable that the Raiders would lose against Denver, but they showed up ready to play and ready to win. The field goal kicker missing that field goal? I mean, come on. It bothered me. Then I had a good meal and I was okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. Vicky says it wasn't one of Draymond's finest moments. No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. And I'm going to say this. If you're talking to this mic enough, you're probably going to say some things that you regret. And when you do that, apologize and try to keep it moving. But my whole thing is, I don't like it when people's character are brought into question. You call somebody a bum? That ain't cool. Not to me. If someone made that statement about Draymond, I'd be offended. He's about basketball. He's a 4-time NBA champion. But that word has so many ramifications. You can't look at one aspect of somebody's life and just talk about that thing. When someone is labeled that, that's a big deal. PG, thank you for that. It's actually was something I was going to address at the end of the show, but why not do it now? We lost a couple of gentlemen. I'm more familiar with Lenny Wilkins. He says, damn, R.I.P. Lenny Wilkins, one of the all-time greats. He brought a chip to Seattle in '79. Yes, he did. And Lenny Wilkins was class personified. Now, obviously, he was before my time as a player, but Lenny Wilkins was one of the great players in the history of New York high school basketball. One of the greats of all time. I believe went to Providence. Lenny Wilkins is one of the special players, special individuals to be in the Hall of Fame as a player and as a coach. And you're talking 79, there were not many NBA coaches of color during that particular time. I mean, when you got a head job as a black man, a person of color, at that time, you could only imagine what people thought of you from a character perspective. You know, the Mount Everest persona that you had to have, i.e., the great Al Attles, the head coach of the Warriors in 1975. I mean, a man among men. That was his presence. And as you said, EG, in 1979, he brought a championship to Seattle. The great Dennis Johnson, R.I.P. Jack Stickma, Johnny Johnson. Yeah. Great loss. And I'm going to say Paul Tagliabue was a horrible loss as well. I'm sure his family feels that way. The NFL, under his stewardship, positioned itself for the meteoric rise that it has experienced under Roger Goodell. But Tagliabue, I think when you look at the history, probably did a pretty good job as a steward of the NFL. He certainly set it up for success, and it has since exploded during Roger Goodell's tenure. But I tip my hat to him as well. 84 years old, he passed, and I hope his family is doing well. Key says, do you see Deion Sanders stepping away from coaching? Because I don't see Colorado firing him. Nah, Colorado would not fire him. Absolutely not. I think it's all about his health. I think his doctors will determine whether or not he should be coaching football. If you've ever coached before, it is brutal when you get older. When you have a serious health issue, it is tough. The level of stress that coaches feel, experience, unless you've done it, you have no idea. It is really, really hard to be a coach. Notwithstanding the physical challenges that Deion Sanders has now, what he's gone through. If he's healthy enough to coach, I would love to see him build Colorado up and go out on his own terms. There's been some troubling signs this year, though, because as a coach myself, when your team is getting blown out consistently more than like one time, players will stop playing. So the common theme is, well, the players quit. I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is whatever message you were trying to communicate to your players, they didn't receive it. And they ain't listening. So it was good to see Colorado come out and show some fight against West Virginia, because that's a statement in and of itself. It really is. So, to answer the question, I don't know. Colorado won't fire him, but whether or not he'll continue to coach, I don't know. But what I would be concerned about is internally, how good are the coaches? I'm not talking about the Fritz Shermans of the world or some of the other big time. No, I'm talking about there's a lot of coaches. You need to be an expert in your position. Whatever is under your control, you need to be an expert there. You really do. That's why a guy like John Harbaugh gets hired as a head coach when he was a special teams coach. That's why a guy like Mike Tomlin, who coached DBs, gets hired as a head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was an expert at his field. I said earlier in the show, with Belichick, North Carolina is not a real talented football team, but those guys are starting to fundamentally, resemble the Patriots a little bit. How he built those teams. So coaching matters, particularly when you're talking about young people. It matters a lot. So if I'm Deion, I'm looking at, well, what are our goals from a coaching perspective? Because he's not an offensive coordinator. He's not a defensive coordinator. He's a head coach. So what that means is that he's relying on other people to gain mastery of a particular set of skills from his players. Mickey says the Raiders are a mess. Yeah, they are. And it stems with leaving Oakland. He says the Dolphins playing hard for Michael. I'm sorry, for McDaniel. Love seeing them smack Allen today. Yeah, and you know what? Again, listen. I took over one of my fondest memories in coaching. And I never was a person who wanted to get the Cadillac job where I'm the heir apparent of some monster of a program. No, I would take jobs that were open. I don't care what. No, that job is open. I'll take that job. Why? Because I knew how to turn programs around, and I knew how to do it. It starts with fundamentals. It starts with trust. It starts with modeling, and over a period of time, if you know what you're doing, your teams will get better. But they got to trust you. And McDaniel is a little quirky. Whether or not he should have had that head job, I don't know. He's clearly a brilliant offensive mind. Whether or not he's the right guy long term, I have no idea. He could turn things around. But his players have not quit on him. That's a statement in and of itself. You lose a lot of players, your best wide receiver, and then you go and you smack Buffalo. That's team that is really talented, give him credit. Vicky says the NBA is so lucky with all this, with all the generation. What do you mean by that? The NBA is so lucky having many generational players. I'm sorry, okay. A young generation of players. Yeah, and you know, Vicky, what's really interesting, like I said before, there is well, I don't want to use that analogy. There is a Uber van lift of players coming into the NBA who are going to be impact players. We're not talking about guys. We're talking about real guys. AJ Abanta? What? I got a chance to watch Cameron Boozer, and he's gonna be a good NBA player, but I don't think he is. I don't think he is like 10-time All-Star. I need to watch him more. He's gonna be a solid player. He's a big kid who has good fundamental skills. Like for example, if you put Boozer next to Wembanyama, if you put him in to replace a Harrison Barnes, he's going to be a vital cog in that championship engine of a team. You're going to make some All-Star teams. Probably not a perennial All-Star, but going to be a really good player. Kind of an Al Horford type. He's not as long as Al. If you haven't seen this kid from Virginia Tech, look him up. 6'9" point guard. I don't want to butcher his name. But wow. This kid is flat out nasty. There's so many good players. I'll read one more time. I got it. The NBA is so lucky having so many generational players and young generational players. Yeah. Good for us as fans. Coach Sanders is a football player who is smart. He's definitely smart. No doubt about that. Yes, he is. All right, just to kind of recap, the 49ers went down today to a football team, the LA Rams, 42-26. One of the guys I'm happy for is Devontae Adams because this ping pong journey that he was on. He's with the Raiders, he's with the Jets, he's with the Rams. I mean, some of us might have thought this guy was losing his career. I mean, he's a future Hall of Famer, but going to the Rams has been a new life for him as a football player. Leads the NFL in touchdowns, got 9. Smooth as he ever was in and out of his routes. I'm happy for Devontae Adams because he's balling this year. He really is. And he's on a team in the Rams. Injuries could, move them off their course. This is a team that's going to have an opportunity to win the Super Bowl this year. They look like the team that was giving Philly problems in the playoffs, but better. So, and Vicky says they're still scoring. The Rams just scored again. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Stafford still has not been touched. I wanted to talk to you about a movie that I saw this weekend. And I saw the movie. It wasn't my choice. My movie, Bud picked the movie. I didn't really know what to expect. But we saw the movie Nuremberg. And if you are someone that has a difficult time compartmentalizing tough, sad historical events from cinema, this might be a tough movie for you to watch. You might want to sit this one out. I can do that. I like history, good and bad. It was educational for me. It really was. But I wouldn't call it entertaining. I would call it just a learning experience for me, something that I was unaware of in this level of detail. But what Nuremberg is about is after Hitler was captured and found dead. No. After Hitler was found dead, right? He might have committed suicide. I don't remember. Some of his lieutenants fled, and they were ultimately caught, and they were put on trial by a set of nations. The United States being one of them. Russia was involved, and the Treaty of. I don't want to get stuff wrong. These individuals who were literally number 2, number 3, number 4 in line of Hitler's lieutenants, they were put on trial for the atrocities that happened to Jewish people. And I mean, some of the visuals are tough to take. But the learning and the cinematic value is there. Tremendous acting, tremendous. And you knew it would be based on the names that were in this film. And I talked to an older gentleman who watched the movie, who had a real historical perspective on this. I didn't know how old he was, but he was pretty old. This is not the first time that they covered this subject. They covered it actually in the 40s, I believe, the 40s and the 50s. And there have been other iterations of this trial that took place. But Russell Crowe played the role of Herman Goring, who was responsible for some horrible things. All right. Rami Malek played the U.S. psychologist Douglas Kelly. Michael Shannon, a great actor in his own right, played the lead prosecutor in the United States, Guidance Roberts. And allegedly he was promised to be chosen to be in the Supreme Court. That did not happen. But all of these gentlemen played integral roles in this movie. And like I said before, for the cinematic value of acting and storytelling and just bringing life to something that many of us who are obviously way too young to know of this, it was a great experience for me because I like history and I like learning. And you can learn a lot by watching this movie about a horrible time in the world's history that many of us don't know about. So if you are the type of person that can compartmentalize all of these different things that have happened that are real from history, I would say check it out. If it's too emotional for you for whatever reason, and I'm sure there are many, you might want to stick this one out. All right, but I did see Nuremberg, some tremendous performances, and yeah, I'll leave it at that. If you have any questions about that, you can feel free to ask me. All right. Key says, how good can the Blazers be when Dame returns? Definitely a playoff team. I don't know beyond making the playoffs, because you would think that when Dame comes back, Drew Holiday is not going to be there. You know, because they play the same position. I don't think you want them in the backcourt. So if you're going to insert Dame, and they are, I don't know if Dame's coming back this year. Unlikely, but if he does, it'd be late during the season. I just like how they're playing. I just think that they're playing with a lot of professionalism after dealing with I mean, an unthinkable thing that could happen to your organization involving their coach. And I think we saw it coming last year. You know, they were a solid team last year. They have a bunch of young guys who are talented, who play hard, and you show up to Portland not ready to play, they will smack you. If you think you're going to Cadillac it on your home court, they'll blow you out by 20, 30 points. They're that talented. And now they have a point guard who actually knows how to run an offense, who understands tempo. They're not going to give up on Scoot Henderson, but I think Scoot is probably going to get traded. You know, he's going to get traded somewhere else, as he should, and go somewhere else and see if he can become a player. Right now, you would say Scoot has been a flop. And I mean, I thought he was Rookie of the Year. I feel embarrassed by my prediction because it's not like he's not going to be a good NBA player. But I had him being an all-star, and it just kind of shows you. I get it right a lot, but sometimes I don't get it right. I don't know if you can totally say Scoot's not going to be an all-star, but it's not looking good right now. It really is. TG says, saw Nuremberg with wife this weekend as well, Frank, and have the exact same sentiment about the movie. Okay. I appreciate that. So that lets me know that I'm not off on an island by myself. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And it's interesting that you and I, with all of the other movies out there, we ironically saw the same movie. Yeah. I love movies. I love storytelling. Vicky says, watch a movie. The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I'm assuming you saw it, Vicky. He says, do you believe John Lynch is a good GM? I'd like to see him go. Is he a good GM? Not a bad GM. I mean, here's my thing. Based off his record, you would have to say he's a good GM. Because he's not only responsible for evaluating and making the ultimate decision on players, he's responsible for wins and losses. And during the Shanahan-Lynch tenure, the 49ers have been pretty successful. So, do I think he's a good GM? I think he's probably in the top third. But if you're the 49ers and you haven't won a Super Bowl in a long time, it's not absurd to think that he can do a better job than him to get you closer to what your goal is, which is not to be an organization that makes the playoffs most of the time or challenge. But you want to see somebody win Super Bowls. And one of the telltale to the question is people who were under John Lynch are being hired to run other organizations. So what is that saying? In some respects, that's saying that he was not the guy who was actually responsible for the good things that happened for the 49ers. So, you know, it's an interesting question. I don't think he's a bad GM. I think he's made some mistakes at the top of the draft, but he's also found some players that have exceeded expectations. So, is he a top 5 general manager? I'm going to say no. Is he Howie Roseman? No, he's not. Is he in the top 10, top 12? I'd probably say he is. He says, I think it's mental when it comes to players. Definitely part of it. Yeah. No doubt about that. All right. I want to big up the Mighty Outcast. For just an incredible accomplishment, being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I mean, let's be honest, there's some politics involved because it's subjective. I don't think they were a bad choice. I think they were a good choice. When you consider that Outkast was not only one of the top rap groups of their era, they also brought the South with them. You know, they provided an experience from Southern artists that we had never seen before, that permeated throughout the world, throughout the country first, and then throughout the world. So it was more than just the classic rap albums that they were able to make. It was their contributions to music and to hip hop in general. I still love how they move. Andre 3000 is a solid actor, still showing up in independent films that you would never expect him to be in. There's no billboards, no clickbait of him being used to promote these films. You know, this guy's taking real obscure roles in different communities and crushing it in whatever he's being asked to do. I really appreciate that as an artist myself. Big Boy, kind of a man about the community, helping other artists, raising kids, uplifting the community. I'm just very, very proud of these two young men, and I'm happy that they were acknowledged as they were. Salt-N-Pepa goes without saying. Great female group of all time, classy ladies, and a well-deserved honor as well. All right, with that said, I'm gonna get out of here. We are an hour and a half in. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. It's always fun. It really is. Hopefully, the 49ers will be able to get back on track against a Cardinal team. I think that they should be, but you got to respect them. And Golden State Warriors. I'm a Warriors supporter. I'm not really a fan. I'm a strong supporter. I like to see them win. I'm throwing it back. I mean, I'm off balance a little bit. I didn't see 6-5 after their great start, and I don't like this Kuminga thing. I just don't. And I don't know if you can be a fan and go, I like this, because they can't really be their best without a Kuminga type talent in that lineup. I mean, Stephen Curry, what's he going to play this year? 5 games, max. That's it. Draymond will play about 65. Al Horford probably going to play about 50. Jimmy Butler probably about 65. They need a Kuminga-esque type player. So that's my deal. Ricky's better than me. Hit the like button. I forget. I'm sorry. Hit the like button, please. If you are new to the program, listening, and you like what you hear, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. In the Dungeon Show, follow me on X at Big Red, and I look forward to talking to you down the road a little bit. We know next Sunday, but maybe I'll pop in throughout the week. I have some time on Tuesday. I'm off on Tuesday, so maybe I'll check you out in a couple of days. With that said, let me do my thing and get out of here. Success in getting paid is a manifestation of the whole process. If you as an individual don't do things to help other people make their lives better, as far as I'm concerned, you haven't done nothing. My name is Frank Red. This is the Inductees Show, and I'm going to say goodnight. Peace.